So there we go. It's not what I wanted at all by any means, but I mean, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, we did manage to get our mob farm. Seeing as how OP these things are, it's absolutely understandable. Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more FTB Inferno. Today, I want to make a mob farm. Now, I know what y'all might be thinking. Cookie, why do you want to make a mob farm? It's like episode 11. If you want to make it, why haven't you done it yet? I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it, and I didn't have a full reason to, but now I do. So here's the thing. You know how sometimes mobs will spawn as like bosses? I've had this happen on several occasions, and when they die, they drop random stuff. Well, those boss mobs can actually spawn from my soul cage when I input the soul shard into there. And they drop a bunch of crazy stuff. Like all of this. Like, look at this. We got Starbuncle wheels. I haven't even started Create yet. We also got another Flight Elixir. We got a rotational speed controller. We got a lot of good stuff from these things. But even more important than all of that, if I take you over here, you guys remember the last video when I did the bees things and I couldn't get the drawer controller because of various reasons? Well, the mobs can drop drawer controllers. So all in all, we're going to be making ourselves a mob farm, utilizing this soul cage and my slime soul shards. That way this thing can also be on top of my offshoot observer, so that way it can continue to fill up my aura around me. And as for how we're actually going to automatically kill the mobs, there's not a lot of ways to do that in this pack, but I did find a thing called spell turrets from Ars Nouveau that can be enchanted with parchments with spells attached to them that can then attach to these things. So if I attach harm to it, it could then harm mobs that are set in front of it. So if I can get a way to funnel the slime in front of it so that way it can continue to strike them, they will eventually die. For us to get this spell turret, we need to start the basic one. It's a simple recipe. We're going to need to get ourselves 4 source gems. And unfortunately, my left JEI doesn't show up here for some reason, so we need to go back and bring the spell turret up from over here. Do I not have a block of redstone? Yes, I did not. Okay, well, now we got ourselves our basic spell turret. And then we want to upgrade this thing to the enchanted spell turret, which is going to take a blaze rod and a source gem block. Do I not have blaze rods anymore? Oh, did I break down all my blaze rods? Oh, that actually sucks. Okay, then. So I'm going to need to go out and get some more blaze rods, and then I'm going to set up the rest of these things.
Later.
Okay, so we can go ahead and just put our blaze rods there, and then our gem block right there. I completely forgot the name. Source gem. That's what it's called. And then right in the center, we can go ahead and put our spell turret with the enchanting apparatus, not the imbuement chamber. And now we get to witness some magic. It does not look right in there. It looks very clippy. But there we go. Now we've got ourselves our enchanted spell turret. Then, after that, what we're going to need to get rid of all these mage blooms right here, because now we want to turn them into some mage bloom fiber. And then with that, we can then go ahead and then grab ourselves a piece of paper and then surround this with that, and then we will get ourselves our parchment, not mage bloom, but then we can go ahead and combine that with the source gems, and we get ourselves our spell parchment. Beautiful. Oh, and that was 2. Really? Oh, that was 2 achievements right there. Now, I've never used a spell parchment before, so this is what I think I do. I go over to the scribes table and right-click this onto there. Okay. That does something, but nothing beyond that. Okay, so this could lead into a suspicion that I had, because the spell parchment looks like it goes on to here. I heard that much, but I didn't know exactly how to actually use these things on here. So what I'm thinking I need is I need to make myself a spell book, which is just a book in the basic iron tools. It's not complicated, so I'm gonna go ahead and make that real quick. Okay, now we've got ourselves the spell book. So now, I'm pretty sure if I put projectile and harm onto this, we can go ahead and have that there. And then that'll be just our #1 spell. So now, I can just shoot it out like that. That does use up quite a lot of source. And it doesn't look like it shows me how much source these are going to use like it does in later versions. Okay, but if I right-click this onto here, that is very interesting. So it's not going to allow me to do anything with this. Okay, I accidentally did it. So I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find anything, but apparently what I had to do was when I put that in there, I just had to shift right-click the book on the scribes table, and then that worked. So, okay, cool. So then what I'm guessing we do is we go ahead and put this here, and then I apply that to there, and we actually keep the spell parchment. Okay, that's cool. So now, since this is an enchanted one, it shouldn't fire until we give it a redstone signal, which is going to revolve around a lot of different stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make all of the basic area and make all the other components that I'm going to need to start setting up this farm. And then I will be right back.
Much later.
Alrighty, here it is. It took me a little while because some of these things were a bit of a pain to get, but this is just the basic structure. This is all I'm really doing with it. I didn't really want to try and make it look good in any ways because it's meant to serve a function. So, right in here, we have these vector plates that are juggling me. Those things are going to push the slimes that spawn outside of the radius right over into this line right here, where the turret is gonna then shoot them dead. And then we have these iron grates, which, if I drop this glass bottle, it will go through it, but entities will not go through it. So then below here, we're going to have all these hoppers that are gonna go up to this chest over here. I grabbed the crystal chest that I had earlier, just because, like, there is gonna be a lot of filtering that I'm gonna have to do, because there could be even more items that I don't know that I'm gonna want, and then I'm gonna need to have this little area right here as a filter for that. And I'm going to get that piped over to the drawer controller, where once I do figure out what I want with those things, they'll go into there. And then the rest will end up just going into the garbage. So no time like the present to start the tests, I guess. Let's go ahead and then throw our gem into there, and it should start spawning them. And then I'm also going to want to go ahead and then put down my source jar right here. That way this thing will start doing things once I activate this, which gives this thing a redstone signal every so often. I think once it goes all the way down, it fires. I don't entirely know. It doesn't appear to actually be working, is the thing. Okay, then, well, I guess let's just go ahead and then, like, put a lever on this thing and turn it on. And now maybe it will work? It's not actually working. Wait a minute, this thing should be working. Oh! I think I just got it working. I don't know if I did, but, like, something happened. Did there just get, like, so many entities in here that they just died? Okay, wait, let's take the crystal out, because, like, wow, that is a lot of slimes. Okay, I managed to figure it out. The reason why it wasn't shooting was because it wasn't casting harm. But it also does look like the farm is actually working. It's become completely self-sufficient. You need to get you out of there, though. There we go. So, yeah, that looks like it should work. I want to get another vector plate right there, actually, because if they're just gonna keep going into that small hole right there, so, like, let's just get rid of you, and then put a vector plate right there. And yeah, it can still shoot through. So if any little guys wander into there, they'll just, like, shoot right back out. Oh, and I see boss particles down there. Okay, so one of these is a little bossy boss. Okay, that's cool. How are we doing in here? Okay, we're doing pretty good. It is a little slow. So, like, if I could give this thing maybe more harm, I'm gonna try giving this thing some more harm, because it is actually utilizing a good... it's not really utilizing much source. That way we can try and speed this thing up, because so far it looks like it's only killing the small guys. We want it to be able to kill the larger guys.
Much later.
Okay, I got some good news and I've got some bad news. The bad news is, the entire thing with ours that I was doing to try and get this whole thing to work it's not gonna work, because what I've discovered is that when the turret was attacking the mobs, you see these things right here? These are all things that you could get from those infernal mobs, I believe they're called, and that wasn't dropping it. But then when I killed them, it dropped stuff instantly. I kept doing it over and over. Every time I've ever killed one, it always dropped something. But whenever this thing would kill one, it would never drop something. Which leads me to the conclusion that infernal mob drops are player kill only. So, this isn't gonna work. There's 3 possible solutions to this. First one is that I will have to rework this entire thing to be a manual farm rather than an auto farm if I want to get all these drops, because there are some really good ones. Like, you can get runes for blood magic, you can get a bunch of different foods. I got a freaking jeweled apple. Those things are insane. And there's just a lot of stuff that's a real pain to get, so I really don't want to do that one. My 2 other solutions are one I know will work, unless they changed it for this mod pack, and one that I'm not certain will work. We'll start with the one that I don't know if it will work, because the one that I do know will work is, for lack of a better term, crappy. So what I need to do is I need to take this reliquary pedestal, and then this thing may also need a redstone signal. It may not, but I put a weapon in there, okay, and it shouldn't need one. So now whenever there is a mob near it, it's gonna attack it and ideally kill it. Now, from what I know, this should count as player kill. If it doesn't, though, that is vastly unfortunate. And also, I'm pretty sure that the drops should drop through the vector plates. I don't know. We're about to find out. So let's go ahead, turn this on, and get ourselves some mobs. Hopefully we can get an infernal mob to see if this works. But it's not like I said infernal mob, but it's infernal. Okay, it is killing them. That is good. It's a little weak, though, and unfortunately, I am going to need to keep an eye on the durability on this thing. So I'm going to need to check back with that every so often. That's going to be fun. Oh, there's one. There's an infernal. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put that back into there. And now we just need to wait for that guy to finally kick the bucket. Okay, you know you want to die. I probably should seal up this hole, but I want to wait until I know that this is going to work. I still see the particles down there. Is it a big guy or a little guy? I can't tell. It's one of the medium ones. Okay, it's you right there. I want to kill you so badly, but this is for science. It's for science. Do you all hear me? Science! I should probably... This thing is really slow is the thing. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go ahead, speed this baby up. That way it'll start attacking faster. Yeah, wow. Wow, there it goes. Okay. So, it looks like it could be working, but... Oh, there's a bunch of items that are stuck right there. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, what we've concluded is... Wow, the range on that guy. But what we've concluded is that... I'm not sure if this actually worked. Because... A, there's gonna be a bunch of items getting stuck there. We don't want that. But B... The infernal guy died, and it doesn't look like he dropped anything. So, the other one that could potentially work is going to be the deployer. So, the deployer is from Create. Now, unfortunately, I haven't gotten any of those from infernal mobs, which is unfortunate. I don't know if any of those can be dropped by infernal mobs, but it's not terrible to get normally, because all it takes is an electron tube, which is just an iron plate, which takes iron inside of one of these things. Oh, I'm gonna need to get knee-deep into Create. Oh gosh, okay. But that's just one machine that can be placed on the floor, and then polished rose quartz, which I can literally just, you know, yeah, do that sandpaper down normal rose quartz, which is just sample as paper. It's not hard. Now then, the andesite alloy also takes some zinc mixed with andesite. Andesite we already know how to get, but zinc is where things become pain. Because as far as I can find, the only way for us to get zinc is for us to get into the dimensional mine shaft. I have never done that before. I have no idea how I would do that. So I'm gonna look into how to do all of this, and then I'll be right back once I have everything I'm gonna need to actually get it set up, and then we're going to get this going. And if this thing actually does not work at all, I am sorry.
Much later.
Okay, I've gathered up everything I need for the mine shaft. So what we need is over here on the big one that we made when we did the, I think it was the storage, the dimensional storage, yeah. We need to put 4 other stone, a block of icium, a gold ingot, and another spirit attuned crystal. Oh my gosh, you guys are such a pain to get. And then in the middle, we put our book of binding gin. There we go. This one shouldn't require a sacrifice. Yeah, neither of these are going to require a sacrifice of any kind. There we go. We got our dimensional mine shaft. Now, we need to put another spirit attuned crystal, this empty magic lamp, gold ingot, another block of icium, and wait, is it icium or is it? It looks more like icenium. Yeah, we're gonna call it icenium, and then an icenium pick, and then we'll need to put another gin book. Now, we speed this up once more. Go, speed! I am speed! Please hurry up. Oh my goodness, this takes forever, but yes! There we go. Now we have ourselves an ore miner gin. Now, thanks to all of that, I forgot I turned that into that book, but now thanks to all of that, we have awakened all of the things we need to start our create journey. Now, we just need to start mining up some of the zinc, I think it's called? Yes. So how do we get zinc? This is gonna be a bit interesting. We need to get ourselves a hopper. I think I had one in here. Yeah. Then, we put this on top of a chest, and then we put our dimensional mine shaft on top of that. And now, we can go ahead and put our ore miner in there, and then after a good bit of time, he is going to have mined pretty much anything. Now, the zinc ore, I believe, I think it has like, yeah, 1.5% chance of spawning. So, when we actually do get it, we got cobalt. Oh, that's pretty good. But once we do get it, I'm gonna then smelt it inside of my smeltery just to maximize the amount of the zinc that we're going to get. So, I'm gonna wait until I get myself a good bit of zinc, and then we'll be right back once we have started our createness, so that way we can finish up our mob farm.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
Alrighty, after doing some extensive math, I have gathered up all the andesite alloy that I'm gonna need, and then some. And also, I decided to make the zinc bee in there because, you know, now that I had the zinc going, I was able to do that. It wasn't terribly complicated. All I needed to do was feed a zinc ingot to an iron bee, and to get an iron bee, I just needed to breed, not feed, an ashy mining bee with a crystalline bee, which I got a crystalline bee from a quartz bee, and then an ashy mining bee was from a botanist pickaxe with a digger bee, and then you get the digger's delight with a normal bee. In order for us to get started, we're just gonna need to make this hand crank right here. This doesn't have any full bearing on this, but for the reward for it, we do get a wrench and some shafts, which are core ingredients in this. And now we're going to want to go ahead and make our rose quartz by using the sandpaper on this, then we get polished rose quartz. But next up, let's go ahead and then use these 2 warp stems, which should work. Yep, and then make andesite alloy. And as you can see, they actually kind of connect, which is... it's pretty cool. I've made a house out of these once before. It had an acquired taste. So let's go ahead and pick these babies up right here. And then we can go ahead and then mix these with one of our shafts and an iron block, and then get ourselves the mechanical press. Now, we need this because we're gonna need to make brass sheets. Oh boy, so let's go ahead and put 2 of our zinc into here, and then I believe I need 2 copper. And then those things will begin to mix. Or maybe not. Oh, I'm using andesite alloy. I need to mix it with zinc. This is why I automated it. And I actually have exactly 2 zinc. That is great. Okay, so we can go ahead and throw that in there for right now. And I think the other thing we can make now... No, we can't, because we need the press to make the iron plate. Okay, wait, no, we can, because I have the press. So I'll just go ahead and put that one right there, and put the hand crank right there, because I don't want to use my starbuncle wheel just yet, which is going to be what I use mainly. And then we grab ourselves a piece of iron, throw it under there, and don't miss. Come on. Listen, game. I need you to get under there. Yes, there we go. So now we can go ahead and crush it like that. There is like a D-pot that we can use on this thing, but this is just easier. Then we can go ahead and then mix the rose quartz with that, and then we get the electron tube. Now, all that remains is just to get our brass. There it is. So now we can go ahead. Oh, really? Really, game? You're gonna do this to me? Bro. Why? Why will you do this? Okay, wait. Yes! There we go. Perfect angle. Okay. And then I just need to crush each and every one of them each individual time. 2 more. 1 more. Come on. Put your back into it. And there we go. Now we got ourselves the sheets. So now we can go ahead and throw all this together. We got our brass hand. And now... we have our deployer. That should be all the create we're gonna do for right now. I shouldn't need to do it again for maybe a couple episodes. I'll probably do it again very soon. So then, now that we've gotten this baby, we're going to want to put this guy right here. There we go. Yeah, it's facing the wrong way. Figures. So it faces the opposite way of where I'm facing. So it goes there. And then which way... is going to be the gears. Okay, the gears are going to be on the side. That's good. So then we're going to go ahead and break out this block right here. And then we can go ahead and then find one of our starbuncle wheels, which should be in here. Is it in here, actually? Yeah, they were in here. Okay, cool. And then we actually are going to want to go ahead and grab some gold as well. And then make ourselves a gold block. There we go. Because now... by facing the starbuncle wheel this way, which is good, it's facing the proper way, and then putting gold in front of it, starbuncles love gold, so it's just going to go even faster now. So then, now what we need to do, we need to hit this baby with the wrench. We need to hit the front part of this somehow, so that way we can get it facing that way. There we go. Because when it's like this, now it's acting as left-clicking rather than right-clicking what the one before was. So, now we just need to slap our sword on this baby, and then we should be good. So, go ahead, throw that into there, and there we go. It is all ready and rearing.
12 o'clock midnight.
Okay, so, long story short, the deployer did not work. I reworked the entire thing. Also, sorry if I'm speaking a bit quieter than I was earlier. It is currently a lot later than it was last time. So, don't want to disturb sleeping relatives, but... we've got this whole setup now to where the mobs are going to be pulled off of these vector plates, and then they will drop down into here, and you can see by these blood stains that some of them didn't survive the fall. May have made it a bit too big, but at least the bigger guys are able to survive it. My only concern is that I have no way of actually turning this thing off when I don't want to get more stuff. So this one's going to be an active process, so I'm going to have to actively go up there myself and turn it off on my own. So there we go. It's not what I wanted at all by any means, but I mean, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, we did manage to get our mob farm. We are managing to somewhat automate all these OP stuff, but you know what? Seeing as how OP these things are, it's absolutely understandable. Like, this would have been way too good. So before I forget, I do want to address something. You all might have noticed that there's been no fog at all in this episode, and there is a reason for that. I installed another mod into the mod pack, to where now there will be no more fog. And the reason for that I did this is really just for thumbnail purposes, because a lot of my thumbnails revolve around screenshots, and the fog was just getting in the way. It did reveal a few things to me, but we can address those another time. And I mean, if you guys want me to compensate this by lowering my render distance, I will do that, but I will not remove the mod. Thumbnails are too important, so I'm gonna keep the mod. But if you guys want me to lower my render distance, let me know down in the comments, or you can also let me know, hey, it's cool, you're fine. Either way though, did you like this video? Good. Now be sure to check out our last video where we did the productive bees to automate diamonds, obsidian, and other assorted resources. Bye!